Welcome to another edition of On Air with Mark. We're going to talk about 9/11 and what this day means to me and what I remember from my childhood. So, so I believe that I was in kindergarten, when this tragic event took place. So I remember waking up. It was like every other morning, but I remember waking up, then going to the kitchen, and my parents had the TV on, and I very vividly remember the picture on screen of buildings with smoke coming out. So, so I get ready for school, eat, jump in the car. My parents take me to school. As soon as I walk into my classroom, same thing. The teacher had the TV going, and same vivid picture, buildings with smoke coming out, and then I still remember the look on my teacher's face, and her face was in shock, and like, oh man, I wonder what the hell's going on. And seeing something like that uh, would shock anybody, because seeing like what the hell's going on here. Uh, Planes flying into buildings, they're falling down. This is a goddamn attack. So I remember that vividly, and then we sat there, then we watched it for, oh man, I don't even know, like 30, 40 minutes, maybe longer. Then she turned it off. Then we went on with our our stuff, whatever we were gonna do that day. But I remember that day extremely well, and the two things that I will never forget is picture the picture of the buildings with smoke coming out, and the look on my teacher's face of just an absolute shock, awe, and horror. So so it's crazy how kids now have no idea what the hell 9/11 is really. So I haven't seen modern the history books. I don't know what's in history books right now, so I'm curious to know. Maybe you younger people could tell me. Do you have a a few pages, or just a page of what happened on 9/11? But yeah, so I remember that day vividly, very clearly, and this day, every single year, this day rolls around. There is a cloud of sadness. You could just feel it. The cloud of sadness. Now, when I was growing up, my the high school that I graduated from, it was very cool, because what they did was they uh, over the loudspeaker, they would make like the announcements of like the this plane crashed, or when they did a very cool memorial. Then they did the flag, and then they went through the names, and yeah, it was very cool. So shout out to Fair Valley High School in Covina. Props to you guys for doing it. That was beautiful. So I'm gonna. So 23 years. Wow. So I was 7 years old. Yeah, 7 years old. So so 2,977 people died, and across New York, Washington D.C., and Pennsylvania. according to the 9/11 Memorial and Museum. So the total includes 2,753 who died in New York, 184 people at the Pentagon, and 40 people who died when Flight 93 crashed in Pennsylvania. It's very, very, very sad. And the youngest flight passenger who died was Christine Hansen, a 2-year-old on her way to Disneyland on United Airlines Flight 175. The oldest was Robert Norton, age at 82, on American Airlines Flight 11. And source to USA Today. And here that's so. One thing that I have to do in my life is go visit this memorial. So I've never been to New York, but I have to go see the memorial. 343 firefighters died on 9/11. Man, those heroes. Which, which, and at the time was nearly half the number of on-duty deaths in the New York City Fire Department's entire 100-year history. That is wild. Oh man. So, around 40% of the victims have yet to be identified, according to the New York City and Office of Chief Medical Examiner. The New York City and Office of Chief Medical Examiner, so that's about 1,103 people. Oh man, yeah, it's terrible. So I will never forget this day, and people in general should never forget this day because it's very, very sad. And always, always keep those families and those that have fallen, keep them in your prayers, and always on this day, always light a candle, which I always do. So, so yeah, never forget those heroes. So, with that being said, my friends, thank you for tuning in to another episode of On Air with Mark, which is now off air.